Greetings and salutation. My name is Bedtime with Baphomet, but you can call me Baffy or Boob, spelled BWB, if you'd like. Since I'm sure we're going to be spending a lot of time together moving forward, dear, I thought I'd give you a chance to get to know me a little bit. I use it, its, and she, her pronouns, because all this fur can get really itchy. I promise. I started out this YouTube channel because, well, when I was a young goat, I wanted to do voice acting. It was something that I was extremely passionate about, but I had so many people tell me that it didn't matter, and I would never get anywhere, and eventually I believed them and gave up. You can only hear the same thing over and over without beginning to believe it. So now that I'm older, I'd like to reopen that part of me and explore whatever lay within. Firstly, I should note that I'm both autistic and ADHD, so I have a terrible habit of rambling about an awful lot of nothing all the time. So if I seem like I'm carrying on a bit, I probably am and simply don't realize it. Aside from making these YouTube videos, my hobbies include knitting, baking, really any kind of arts and crafts, and napping. I love to take a good long nap, especially on rainy days. I also really enjoy reading and writing. I used to watch a lot of anime, but not so much these days. I don't watch that much television in general, to be quite honest. Aside from putting on The Twilight Zone or Dark Shadows as I fall asleep. I play video games, but they're mostly cozy single-player games such as Stardew Valley or Sims 4. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Supermarket Simulator. As it comes to books, you may be able to predict I like the classics. A Christmas Carol being one of my favorite books of all time, if not my all-time favorite book. I also thoroughly enjoy the Sherlock Holmes books. I do dabble in fantasy novels from time to time as well. My two favorite series being the Kingkiller Chronicles and the Gentleman Bastard series. Aesthetic-wise, I enjoy a lot of vintage stuff, especially vintage clothes from the 20s to the 50s. I find just a kind of elegance to them that's really hard for me to explain, and it's like a nostalgia for a time I wasn't alive for. It's very strange, but I also draw inspiration from things such as The Last Unicorn, Eraserhead, Liminal Spaces, anything that has that, particular sense of palpable longing. Religiously, I consider myself a Kemetic pagan and an eclectic witch. Most of my deity work involves Anubis, which will make sense later on. I'm not as active with my practice as I wish I could be these days. I simply don't have the spare energy or frankly the space for it. I also consider myself to be quite spiritual. I find things such as astral projection and lucid dreaming and reality shifting extremely fascinating, and I've recently been trying to get into understanding manifestation and the law of attraction, which in retrospect seems backwards, but everybody has their own journey, I suppose. I have a few long-term goals, most pertinent here being that I really want to reach 1 million subscribers one day, and I'm going to work very hard to earn each and every one of those subscribers. Someday, I would like to be able to afford to go to college for mortuary science. I told you Anubis would make sense later. I value a career in which I can give back to my community, and working in the funeral industry is something I really care about. I also, of course, would like to own a house someday, but in this economy, I'm alright really pushing it with wanting to go back to school. Overall, I consider myself an enthusiastic, really passionate person. I pride myself on being kind and willing to listen and learn before anything else. I think that all sums up my being succinctly enough for now. Please tell me about yourself too, so I can get to know you. And don't be afraid to ask me questions, dearest. I would be more than happy to answer any question you could possibly have. But for now, I thank you for your time, and I look forward to my tenure here as your new virtual girlfriend, best friend, and whatever you have most need of.